Flosstube, Ashley here, Boogie Stitcher, coming back for another weekly update. Don't have a ton of stitching progress, or at least not as much as I normally do, but it's been a busy crafting week-ish, couple days. Anyway, let's get to it. I got my coffee right here. I told you guys I love coffee. Got all my projects and let's get started. So yeah, let's start with the stitching progress that I have so far. I'll start with in this moment. I've got a fair bit done with this one. I've stitched about 500 stitches. I guess that's not a ton for me, but still a fair bit. So more than I used to do. So last time I left off, I had just done this pink. Well, I decided to do some of this really light peach color and then some of these gold tints right here. And yeah, I had to stop doing the peach because it's just so light and so close to the color of the fabric that I was having a really hard time seeing it. My eyes were starting to like bug out on me. So I decided to go up with the gold and stitch more of that so I can actually see what I was doing. But anyway, here's a far away shot. I won't take it out of the hoop. I'm about to work on this one. Close up. In this moment, Heaven Earth Designs, I can't remember the artist's name. I want to say Jeremiah. I don't know, I'll link it down below so everyone knows what project this is. Anyway, there's that. And then here is my castle, Disney castle. I've been working on this a fair bit. This is the one I've paid most attention to. I've only worked on 2 projects this week. So again, not too much stitching progress, but I've been busy and you'll see why in a minute. So anyway, like I said, I started page 3 of the castle. So I've been stitching, sorry, I just moved the hoop, but I didn't have the hoop moved. So I got a couple threads, but I've been stitching a ton over here and I am loving how the tent stitch is looking on this. I will continue with the tent stitch with the 3 strands. I'm loving it and it's going so fast, and I really like this pattern because the pages are really small and it makes me feel like I'm getting a lot done. Yeah, but I'm not getting a ton done, I guess. There's a lot of pages, but the pages are only, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4.5 columns, so not a ton. Anyway, I've pretty much stitched almost all of this page that you see here. I think it's about 900,000 stitches total. Again, I'm gonna stitch on this later too, so I'm not gonna take it out of the hoop. There we go. And that's it for stitching progress. So if that's all you came here to see, then yay, all done. Sorry. But I have a lot of other updates that I have to get to. So stay tuned if you want to see those. So last week I had just gotten these in the mail, and so I hadn't really had a chance to try them out or do anything. I opened the package with you. So but here's my final synopsis. So the link is in the video previous. They're like thread holders for like your bobbins, is what they're meant for. But they're these curly, they're like almost like a silicone basically. But I've seen people use things like these on their cross stitching to like hold their fabric out of the way. Well, all of my projects are huge. I mean, they go on for days. Like, I never stitch anything small. If I did, I'd get a ton done. But as you can see, when I was just showing you this, I had another one right here, and it's now over there on the floor. So that is my one complaint, I guess, is, I mean, these aren't really made for this, but I figured I would try it out. And they're not quite strong enough for me. I used to use like the dollar store like plastic hair clips, but they break so easy. So I was like, oh, well, I'll try something that's silicone, you know, try that out. But not made for this, not meant for holding onto a lot of fabric. And even just this, they fall off so easy. I would say they're not worth it. I'd rather just sit here and hold the fabric in my hand while I'm stitching and just kind of move this out of the way like that, because yeah, I don't know. Someone had put a comment and mentioned doing a grime guard for my hoops. I haven't made one for any of my hoops. I have made some for my roller frame that I just recently purchased. I didn't make it wide enough to hold all of the fabric that I need. I have a lot of fabric, so oh, I guess I did stitch on that one too. Hold on. Switch back to this. I didn't stitch very much on this, only like 200-ish stitches. So I worked a little bit more here on the purple, and then I started filling in some of the orange and just did one color of the green. Sorry, treasure hunt bookshelf. I don't know why I forgot this one. I set it over here and everything. Anyway, here's a full shot of it and a closer up. Anyway, yeah, there's just a lot of fabric for all of my projects, and so I need to attempt to sew one up with more width, so that way I can support all the fabric that I have and see if that helps. Honestly, this will do. You know, I just leave everything in my lap as is. I'm gonna be washing it when I'm all done anyway, and it's gonna be framed. No one's gonna see. It's full coverage. I guess see all my little fingerprints, then whatever. It's mine to see, right? Anyway, these things, I would say they're probably not worth it. You might as well just go to the dollar store and get a hair clip or grab a hair tie, bunch this sucker up, and just wrap a hair tie around it, because it's probably going to be better than this. I'd probably rate these a little bit better. I'd probably rate these like a 3 out of 5, I guess, as far as like scale is concerned. My problem with these also is that I have an 18-month-old who puts absolutely everything in his mouth. Anything. It doesn't matter. Whatever's going to kill him is what he puts in his mouth. And they come off of these so easy, and he puts them in his mouth. So, yeah, I don't really use them unless I'm stitching right now, and then I immediately take them off and hide them. So that way, yeah, everyone stays safe. But anyway, so there's that. They come in a bag like this. So maybe they might be better for people who have smaller projects, aren't as rough with their projects, and don't have an almost 2-year-old running around like crazy. Truth hurts. Coffee break, hold on. Okay, the next thing that I had, they tried to deliver to my house, but I wasn't here on the last video, and so I went down to the post office and got them, are my tensioners for my roller frame. So I was noticing that the side tension was just not quite as taut as I wanted it to be. I like that sucker cranked tight on all of my cross stitching. I have to be able to play music on it by going like this. Like, I don't know. Let's see. You hear that? Yeah, that's how I like it. But with the roller frame, I couldn't get it tight enough, at least because I'm at the top of the project still and going across. So there's not enough room for me to really get a good grip on this clamp roller frame that I have. But these are great. I absolutely love them. I decided to get Christmas colors because, you know, with everything going on this last year, Christmas to me just is my favorite holiday. I love all the lights and the decorations and the mood and the atmosphere, how people are feeling, and I really vibe off of people's emotions. So Christmas is my absolute favorite, but this last year was really tough with the world. So I didn't really get as much joy out of Christmas, the Christmas season, as I normally do. I definitely had fun, you know, and had a fabulous, wonderful day with my family on Christmas, but the leading up to, you know, rushing to get everybody's presents done and the atmosphere of, you know, the pandemic and COVID and everyone stressed out and stuff, that really took a toll. So why not celebrate Christmas in March or all year round? Because I could just sit here and look at Christmas colors for the rest of my life. So yeah, so I got Christmas colors. These are great. I love them. They have like this brass look to them and little jewels. They did put a little jewel on one of them. I had to put it on my actual project so I can see it. Let me see if I can. Oh, there it is on the back of my project, apparently. But they have this little rose, which I thought was a really neat touch. They also gave me a little needle minder, which I lost the back magnet because, again, my son likes to try and eat things and take some of my projects. Luckily, I've caught him every time. But I'm trying really hard to hide everything so that way he can't hurt himself. But anyway, they gave me this cute little needle minder, which has like a lot of my favorite. I like the mute colors when it comes to. Oh, the light's really bright, so it's really hard to see. But it's a feather. It's like a feather button that they turned into a needle minder, which is awesome. But that was a really nice touch. So thank you. But yeah, it seems to be working great. So this roller frame that I have is the biggest one that I bought in my kit. But as you can see, not big enough because I love ginormous projects. So what I've done is I actually bunched up the material and then clipped it to the bunch because there's no way it would provide any tension if I was not to do that. So that was kind of one bummer, but it's my own fault for not having the correct stuff. I also had to tighten them as much as I possibly could. So I actually it took me a while to figure out how these work. So maybe I'll show you guys just in case you don't know. Yeah, I had to watch a couple of videos to try and figure it out because I just didn't know. So they come like this. So what you do is you wrap it around the side of your frame. Mine has to be on like one of the smallest settings. So I just stick it through the little hole right here, like so. Excuse me, you stick the loop part, sorry. And mine has to be in the tightest one. So I stick the loop through this little hole that they have here. And you tighten that sucker down. You're not gonna hurt them, it's fine. And you tighten it as much as you can. And then you take this clamp that it comes with in like a separate baggie. It's like an alligator. You stick this through, I don't know if you can see this, but you stick this through the hole that is remaining and then you clamp it to the material. So that it looks like this. See? So I have this huge tail just kind of hanging out because my project is too big for this roller frame, but they work fabulously, as you can see in here. I also need to adjust the tension on this because my son was messing with it, but as you can see, it wiggles, so it's not quite as tight as I like. That's just not, it's not what I need. I need something tighter. But anyway, my complaint also, so I absolutely love this roller frame. Edward Frank, I think is the brand. Problem is I have a toddler who runs around rampant. So, I mean, him putting his hand on this for 2 seconds pops it off, which is really frustrating. And I like to curl up in a ball when I'm stitching as well. Sorry, didn't mean to bump you. I like to curl up on the couch, you know, get comfy, put my feet up, and this is how I stitch, like this, on the couch. Can't do that with a ginormous frame. You have the convenience of being able to cross-country stitch as far as you want, and you don't have to move your hoop as much to get as adventurous as I like to get with my stitching, but you can't curl up in a ball like this and just stitch. Not enough room for that giant frame. It would be, I mean, it'd be impossible. Let me show you. No way. I mean, I can try. Maybe put this leg up, and because I just, you know, the two-handed at that point, I can do this. But at that point, I'm too busy balancing the one side, and my frame, my stand doesn't hold this. This is too heavy for my stand. So I don't know. We'll see. I might try and get some more progress done with that on the hoop instead, so that we can get further along, or just, used one of my bigger hoops that I have here. I think this is a 9-inch, 8-inch, something like that. So maybe just use this so I can stitch more space, and I just won't be able to extreme cross country unless I want to sit there and move the hoop all the time, which I don't want to do. I want to stitch. I don't want to have to move and fuss with stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know. I'm always open for suggestions because this is a learning craft. You know, I'm learning stuff all the time, every day, and I am a very beginner when it comes to cross stitching. You know, being 3 years young in cross stitching, I'm very, very new. So anyway, so that being said, I was working on those things, and then I decided, so let me show you guys my floss organization. After I drink a little coffee and make some room. So it's been maybe 3 months or so since I changed my organization for my floss. So what I had a double-sided, basically clamshell see-through box. I had everything on bobbins. Problem with that, well, pros. I loved how portable it was. I had a handle, it was double-sided, and it would fit the entire DMC collection. What more can you want, right? Because I only stitch with DMC. Problem. If I buy new colors that I didn't have in my kit, in my collection, I would have to take everything out and reorganize it, which then takes time away from stitching, which then makes me irritated. And so I would just leave all of my new floss, which I did get some new floss this time, I'd leave it in a bag. I have a giant bag over there of floss that I have yet to put away, because if it's gonna take time away from stitching, or you know, I can't really do it with the kids around because the kids will get into it. So I don't want to do it. And I'm lazy. I don't want to spend the time putting all my floss away, wrap them on bobbins, label the bobbin, reorganize the bobbins. Now I love to reorganize my house all the time, but when it comes to my crafts, forget that. I want to craft. I don't want to organize. So I recently switched, just the last 3 months, to this giant plan here. I got this ginormous photo box from Michaels. It's huge. It's Velcro closure, and inside is all my floss. So I got these snack size Ziploc bags from the dollar store. Okay. Labeled it with a little bit of tape with my number. I know it's backwards. I'm so sorry. 3340, 3,340. I just shove the floss in here. Any leftovers I leave in here, and it's great, right? So pros, super convenient when it comes to putting away any new floss. It's easy to organize. Heck, my son just dumped this over on the floor earlier today, and it's already organized again. So it doesn't take very long, and there's lots of room. Problem, it's huge. Here's my head for comparison. So I have a little side table over by my couch where I like to get all comfy and cozy and stitch, but this takes up the entire top. And for an almost 2-year-old, that sounds amazing. It's like gold for little hands. So he likes to go over there and sit there and do that, and I just can't handle it. That, and he dumped it over this morning. So it's too big. It's too big. That, and I'm working on the treasure hunt bookshelf with the color extension. So it's got 200 colors. I don't have time to sit here, reach all the way over, because my color that I need is all the way on the other side of this giant box, to then grab it, open the bag, pull out the length of thread that I need, cut the thread, separate the thread, put the rest of the thread back in the box, and then by that time, I want to stitch with the thread that I have. I don't want to take the time to put it away. Give me the thread so I can stitch all the stitches. So then what happens is I have other photo boxes that I keep like my projects in, because I haven't made project bags yet. I plan on making myself some. But what happens is I then collect a box of bags that I have to put away. There's almost 90 colors in here that I have to put away right now, and I don't want to do that. But then I have to take the time to put them away, otherwise I can't find anything. And unfortunately, if I can't find a color that I want to stitch with, I get irritated and I'm done stitching on that project. I don't know what it is or if anyone else can relate to me, but if I can't stitch on the one section that I was like, I'm gonna stitch this section, and I can't stitch on it, forget it. Might as well just put the project away because that's not being touched until I can work on that section that I wanted to work on. I have no idea why I'm so headstrong when it comes to that stuff, but yeah, so then I can't find any colors because I'm too lazy to put the colors away. That's the problem. That and too big. Oops, sorry, bumped you. Too big of a box. So I'm trying to organize my stuff, figure everything out. So what I did the last couple of days, instead of stitching a bunch, is I decided to give a different like floss storage a try. So let me show you. Sorry. Apparently I didn't grab these. So my very first project, the castle, I put all of my colors on these color cards, right? You can buy them at the craft store, online. This is what I did. And I still have some of my colors on here, even though I, you know, have changed my storage like a million times. So here's what I used to have. Well, I still have these because I have yet to use these colors on my project yet for the castle. So these just kind of sit with all my other floss storage. Well, I liked these. I loved the storage cards or the library cards or whatever. I didn't know how to use them at the time because that was my very first full coverage project. So I didn't really know what I was doing. Not gonna lie, I was winging it. But now I think I'm gonna switch to these. I'm not sure. I'm testing my theory to make sure I'm actually gonna like it and it's not gonna be a phase. Or heck, maybe it's a phase and after 3 months I'm gonna be irritated with that and change it. But with these big projects that have 90 colors, 84 colors, 200 colors, I get really tired of sitting there and trying to search for the color that I have, even though everything is in order from 1 to 3,900 or 3,800. I get tired of searching for it only for 2 seconds to use it and then to have to try and put it away. So I'm gonna switch to these, at least for a couple projects, and see how I like it. Problem is, I share threads or floss, embroidery floss, DMC colors, whatever you call them, I share with all of my projects. So I have multiples of some colors, but I use all these colors for all my projects. I have not kitted up anything ever. So I think what I'm going to do, and I'll let everyone know how this ends up working out for me, is that I kitted one up. I kitted up a project. Now I know I share some of these colors from In This Moment. That's the one I kitted up. Yes. In This Moment. I kitted this one up. I share some of these colors with some of my other projects. So instead of going out and spending a bunch of money on more floss, I'll explain why I didn't do that in just a minute. I decided if I only had one color, I split that skein in half. So I pulled out what I thought would be half and then I attached it to my homemade cards. So this In This Moment I think has 94 colors or close to, give or take a couple. So these cards that I made, and anyone can make these, I'm going to show you how in just a minute. 32 colors will fit on these cards. For In This Moment, it took 3 of them, almost completely. So these don't really get tangled very easily. What you can do is just run your fingers through them to untangle them, almost like you are your hair, or at least curly hair folk. So you just go like this. They look messy, but they're really not messy. And the only reason why they look messy or kinked is because I took stuff off of bobbins that I had. So, and then when you're done, isn't that mesmerizing? And look at those colors. I love them. But anyway, it's easier to find the colors that I need because this is all just for that one project. So what I did, you guys laugh at me if you want, I didn't want to spend a bunch of money. So Cheerios box, right? I know it's funny, but you know, it works. It's a thicker cardboard. It's not just gonna rip on me in 2 seconds. It'll probably last. Eventually I'll get something more, but right now I don't have the money. So I cut out a piece of the box. I cut 16 holes on each side. I got some binder labels from the dollar store and cut them like in 3/4. Put them all right here, and then on each side I have the DMC number. Don't need the symbol because I use Pattern Keeper, so I don't have to worry about that. And there you go. I know that this one's not full, so this has all my 3000s on it. Super easy. And then the only other thing I have to do is look at the top number of each one to see like where my color is. I am gonna label these like 1, 2, and 3, so I know that 1 would have like all of my lower numbers, 3 would have all of my, you know, so on and so forth. I'm also going to label these or label these somehow so I know that it's for in this moment's pattern. And then I'm going to create a project bag instead of a project box, so I have a zipper. And I'm going to put everything, all these colors and the pattern and the hoop, my needle minder, everything that I need for that project in the bag, and that's where I'm going to keep my stuff. There you go. So we'll see how that works. Yeah, we'll see how that works. I don't really know, but you know, I'm willing to give it a shot because I can't, it's not my son's fault he's getting into all my stuff. Like, I need to take better care of it and keep it put away and not have it as enticing. And so if he just sees a bag on the couch, he doesn't mess with it. But if he sees something that's really big that makes noise, or, you know, ooh, a little needle minder, that's cool, that's what gets me. Attaches. He's drawn to it. Now, I have learned one thing about these already, and that I attached all of the threads like this. I thought they looked neat, super awesome. If I flip it over to the back side where you can see the Cheerios box, so the floss looks different, right? There versus there. I learned, and I saw while I was researching different like organizational things for your floss, that some people didn't like this way because when they pull one thread, let me grab a needle, off, they said it tangles. Well, let me show you a trick. Having it this way that I've attached it, which, let me take it off and show you. The way I attach this, all of these, is by sticking the floss through the top here, then grabbing the loop, grabbing your color, and pulling it through. Okay? Just like that. If you grab your needle, one cool thing about this way, you can grab your needle. See if I can do this on camera. The pressure is on. You can grab one thread, like so, pull, and there you go. You fold it in half, or you can clip it and have just one strand. You can do that for 3 strands, like I'm doing for the castle, but you can just pull one thread. You don't have to worry about putting anything away, taking anything out. You look for your color and pull it. Well, the first time I did it, it tangled. I was like, the reviews were right. But let me show you. The way you put the thread on matters. So if I take it off of this side, how putting it through the top, it tangles. If I take the thread from the back, so if I would have put the thread through the bottom going up and pulling it that way, if that makes any sense. If not, I'm so sorry. If I do that and pull it from this back side, the ugly Cheerio box side with the nutritional facts, it doesn't tangle. Look at that. So I almost gave up on it, but then I didn't. I decided to try it from the other side, and it doesn't tangle at all. So this side tangles, this side does not. So if you're wanting to give this one a try, but you read that it tangles, try from the opposite side. Just try putting a thread on the other way and see how that works. So one thing I don't like about this way, I just knotted this up around my needle. There we go. One thing I don't like about this organization from my past experience is that if you have leftover thread, you have to sit here and try and put it back in this small little hole, which I'm not a fan of, but it's not very often. So you have to like loop it. By itself. And so that can get kind of messy. But it's not very often that I have any leftover thread because I'm the type of stitcher who cross country is my preferred method. And I stitch until my color is gone. I try really hard not to put my projects down unless I have completed a stitch. So that way when I come back, I'm fresh on a new color and I can do whatever I want at that moment. So that's one bad side about this. That, and of course I made cardboard. It's just the cardboard. You can buy some plastic ones that are like bendable online. You can buy wooden ones online. But I just couldn't do it. And here's why. Because I ordered 5. Yes, I know, 5. La, 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 la. People are, I see other people working on stuff and I'm like, I have to have that. I ordered 5 kits. New cross-stitching kits, and none of them are small by any means. I think the biggest one is 60 by 80 centimeters. So one of my very first finishes was a kit, a stamped kit on 11 count. It was the cat, watercolored cat. I liked working on it. It was nice beginner project because I didn't have to worry about having my phone with me to see what color I needed, or having a paper chart to see what color I needed in order to be able to stitch. So if the power goes out, or if I just have a headache, or I don't want, my phone's about to die, I don't have to look at my phone or anything. I can just stitch what's on the canvas. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of 11 count or 14 count, 16 count. I prefer 18 and up, and heck, I honestly prefer 22 and up. It's just me. I've never stitched over 28. 28 is pretty hard for me to see as it is, so I don't think I'd be able to see anything else. But I really liked working on that cat. It was kind of a nice change. So what I did is it's my mom's fault, really. Thanks, Mom. I've been trying to get her into cross stitching. I got her into diamond painting. She likes that, but she's been seeing my cross stitching and wants to give it a shot. But she needs something that's beginner. And transposing the pattern, or counted cross stitch, so to speak, seems a little bit much for her at this time. She doesn't have that great of eyesight, and so she wants something big she can hold, she can see, she doesn't have to have a bunch of stuff. So stamped cross stitch would be great, right? Well, I was looking online for her. I went to Tapestry Market. I saw a couple other people get stuff from there, and AliExpress. So I figured, why not? I'm gonna look for some stuff on there. And I started sending her all these things that I thought that she would like, and she was like, yeah, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. Well, I was like, why not? I can just create a wish list, right? Or, I could window shop. I love to window shop. Well, window shopping leads to spending money because I created a wish list and it had like 80 or something on there. I was like, no. Now, my daughter was doing it with me. So there is that. It wasn't just my wish list. It was her wish list too, for me to make for her. So there was that. It wasn't just me. It was my daughter. doing it too. But we created a wish list, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna buy some. Like, but I spent an entire day from morning till 1 a.m. trying to convince myself not to buy any. Let me know if anyone else has done that, because apparently that's what I do. So I spent 3/4 of the day trying to convince myself I'm not going to buy any. But then my daughter really wanted an Elsa and an Anna and the girl Stitch pattern. So anyway, those are 2 little sneak peeks of ones that I got for her. I'll do like an opening video of like when I get them. We can open them together. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, I spent 3/4 of the day trying to convince myself that I didn't need any more patterns, because I already have 10 projects in the works, which I don't work on all of them. I work on like maybe half of those, like 5 in rotation right now. And then I also have like another 15 patterns that I haven't even touched that my husband has gotten me like for Christmas and stuff. So I was like, I don't need any more. I do not need any more anything. Like, I have crochet and all my other stuff. I was like, no, I don't. But then I was like, you know, I'll just get a couple. Well, my daughter didn't want just one. She wanted 2. I don't blame her. I was like, no, just one. But she was just so excited about mommy making her something. So why not? So I got her 2. But if she's going to get 2, heck, I'm going to get 2. There's no way I'm going to get her 2 and not get me 2. So I got 2 for me. But then it was buy 4, get 1 free. So I picked a fit. So I now have 5 stamped cross stitch kits coming my way. I'm assuming they're coming from China. They have yet to be shipped. I ordered them on the 28th, so we'll see when they get here. I doubt they will be here for a while. But as soon as I do get them, I will start. Oh, so sorry. I'll start opening them and show you guys, and I'll do some stitch with me's and stuff with those, so you guys can see something that's like 22 count. My castle, 28 count, or excuse me, 18 count. Magic Study, which is 28 count. And then you can see, I think I got a 14 count stamped, and I got 11 count stamped, so you guys can see all of the above. Now for my stamped kits, I am going to do full cross. I'm not going to do tent because I'd be using way too many strands for that. So I will do that, but yeah, I didn't need to spend any more money on more floss. I have enough floss. So I only kitted up the 1 in this moment. I'm going to try that and see how I like it. If I do like it, I will slowly start buying more floss for all my other projects, so I can use that, I guess. You know, gotta change it up and find different ways that we like to do things. So anyway, this has already been a really long video. I'm so sorry, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me. You know, cheers. Happy Thursday. Enjoy your coffee. Enjoy your day. Have a great stitchy weekend. I'll probably be doing a stitch with me that I'll release sometime this weekend. I don't know what I want to work on. Let me know in the comments what you want me to work on, and maybe I'll work on that. If you all can remember, like, all the projects that I have. If not, I'll just pick one, and we'll go from there. So everybody take care. Have a great day. Talk to you next time. Bye.